Good evening. Weather First meteorologist Gary Frank with an update. I want to talk about a few of the things that went on this morning. We had storms that developed early and kind of hung together and then eventually fell apart. And that's what we're going to look at here over the last few hours. Right now, it's quiet. It's a nice evening. We have a lot of sunshine and a few clouds around, but it's still very humid. And I think that's the biggest thing for us is it's incredibly humid outside. And over the next several hours, we're still going to monitor the fact that the humidity is still in place for us. Here's what it looks like. The peak wind speeds over the last few hours. You saw this mainly in the overnight hours, and you can really see where Chesterfield 52-mile-an-hour wind at Spirit, and then 44 in St. Charles. Those were some of the higher wind gusts as we look at the big picture. Temperatures, though, right now this evening, still at 89 degrees, even with that north-northwest breeze. 91 was our high. Our low 71, so pretty close to average. Nothing too crazy here. But I do want to show you and slow down what happened this morning because I want to show you how these storms progressed and really how they developed. Because you could see the first part of the day, 2 o'clock, storms in the morning. Storms started to develop, but they started to fall apart as well. And this is what we were kind of forecasting. I want to show you how this continued. This line of storms, not severe at all, 3:30, 4 o'clock. But it was this one right here as it entered Montgomery County. That's where we had the potential for even a tornado. You had that at least in a brief period. And as I continue to scan this, you can see that it weakened. But as it got to Troy, it kind of bowed out just a little bit. And I'll move this around so you can see that. That's where we had some of these power outages that prompted maybe some of your phones to go off, some of the alerts to go off, or we had upwards of 60, maybe 70-mile-an-hour wind in some cases, and then it started to fall apart pretty quickly. You can see where those colors really start to lessen as these storms turn out to very loud thunderstorms, but not severe weather anymore. And that's where the wind came from specifically. So I just wanted to point that out and show you as a basis for what's going on the next 24 hours. You saw 52-mile-an-hour wind in Moscow Mills. You saw some other spots that had trees blown down in Troy, and that's where the brunt of the wind damage was. This evening, no problem, 88 degrees. A pretty nice evening. We do have a severe weather potential tomorrow. This is a little different than from what we were talking about yesterday, where I said most of us aren't going to be dealing with that severe weather. It sort of came to fruition, right? We did have that pretty good burst of wind that I just showed you. But I think that the potential for more people to be impacted is here on Sunday. It's how are things going to set up? And I want to show you how I think that things may play out. In Futurecast, this is the way we'll start off. It's quiet here into the overnight hours. But as we put this into motion, you can see that there will be a few showers around on Sunday. How quickly they get here, how much is going to go on, I think that's going to be a big key for us. If rain gets here late in the morning, hangs around till 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, our severe weather threat is probably not going to be all that impressive locally. But I think what we'll watch is the main front. You'll see that wind shift here. As the main front moves through, we're going to see a pretty good line of storms that develop in a similar fashion. It will carry wind damage threat and some hail threat. And whether or not this stretches north by midnight, that's what we'll have to watch out for. Because if we get that rebound of things, but if we don't get over 80 degrees because it's been cloudy and spitting rain all day, I think a lot of us are going to avoid that, where some areas to the south where you cleared out and didn't have that rain, probably see a better bet for rain. So that's what we're going to look at. It's still an alert day because I think the possibility is there for showers and storms in the morning. Not severe, but how much clearing do we get? Do we get some? If we get some, we're going to have a better opportunity for severe weather as that main front passes, brings a wind and hail threat. Those are the big things for us in the next few days. Tomorrow is an alert day, 70%. We will see breaks in the clouds, breaks in the rain. I still think we're in the low 80s. Rain lingers Monday, Tuesday, early fog. We're in the mid 80s here over the next few days. Much quieter, much cooler, especially in the mornings. But we'll continue to monitor that severe weather threat and bring you updates the rest of the next